Maybe you've been in a relationship before, or you were in the getting to know each other phase. There was a breakup, whether it was a relationship or just during the getting to know each other phase. It happened very suddenly, no matter how. And now the question is, if contact is reestablished or if you get back together in a relationship, will there be trust between the two of you again? Will you be able to trust him again? Will there be a change with your special someone, your sweetheart, your desired partner, so that you can trust him? Will it go back to being trusting? And that's where we ask the question, let's tap into the energy now and take a collective look at what is being shown. You know, my dear, collective readings cannot apply to everyone, and the person cards are gender neutral. And now we'll take a look and ask the question collectively. After the reconciliation, will there be a foundation of trust again? Will you be able to trust him or her? And will there be a change on his or her side? A very, very warm hello filled with love, a heartfelt, loving hug. And I thank you for your presence. Thank you for your warmth, your wonderful, lovely comments. Thank you, thank you, thank you for that. And the question was also raised collectively. It was mentioned in the comments. And as you know, I always take up the questions that appear in the comments. And you can always add new questions at any time. So let's take a look now. And first of all, I'm sending you lots and lots of happy, wonderful feelings and experiences. And to everyone who's not feeling so well, as I've also read, I wish you all the very, very best for your recovery. All right, let's take a look now. I'm taking the question. Okay. All right then, let's get started. Two of Wands. Yes, right now there's still a bit of an escape going on with him, kind of this caught between two chairs feeling. We're at a point of change here. The question was whether this change will happen. Maybe he could make up his mind the whole time, or maybe he was always indifferent about it. And he kept running away, maybe reacted impulsively, which could also have to do with the breakup or the loss of contact. But there's also a certain fear visible here. This absent-minded, scatterbrained behavior, this is also the area we're dealing with. Is somehow caught between two chairs. Let's take a look. It will be interesting to see what comes up here now. As I said, clarity is always guaranteed for you here. And there will definitely be some progress as well. So there is something here that has to do with indecisiveness, yes. But there is definitely movement. We're not in a complete standstill here. Instead, we're taking small steps forward. And with that, it's like an incident between chairs. As I said, a kind of indecisiveness. But let's see, it's kind of a balancing act, as the image also shows. So it's like this there. You know, this there. Something is wavering. Something just doesn't fit anymore. So for change, I think that's already really good what is being shown here. All right, let's take a look. Now we have the coins coming up. We have 8 of coins. 8 of coins. Something is slowly building up here. So again, this indecisiveness fits. Something is building up. This wavering, this back and forth a little bit. So now something is building up here. So we're already seeing some good movement, but we still don't know what kind of movement or in which direction something is actually developing here. But we're going to get to the bottom of it, a look behind the scenes. So here are problems that your loved one is dealing with. And right now the problem or problems are being solved step by step. So we have movement here, and there's also maybe where there has been a bit of a lack of ambition all along. So maybe that's still lingering a bit, the superficiality, yes. but we have movement out of this superficiality. So something is happening, something is starting to crumble. And above all, we're also in the area of relationships, because that's a topic for your loved one. Relationships, this sense of stability and stability within a relationship. This longevity, this stability. And that's where the beginning is. So something is really happening here. Now we also have the Five of Pentacles. Yes, now we see another uncertainty here. But this is also about fear of loss. Very, very, very clearly. We have fear here, we have worries here. Yes, this is also about rejection. And there's this feeling of being left out. There's something here like being pushed away, that maybe he is, or feeling excluded, that he might have to keep proving himself over and over again. That's the issue. But there are problems here. Something is being resolved and we already see a change happening. So we definitely have movement involved here. I think that's absolutely fantastic. So let's take a look at what else we can uncover here in more depth. Oops. So yes, this gentleman or lady has always had a bit of a tendency to run away, as we've seen here again, always not wanting to look at things, not letting themselves be pressured by such topics. But so far, it looks fantastic to me again, what is being shown here. And let's see what else we get here. Wow, okay, great. So I have to say, it looks good. And now at the end, absolutely perfect. So with your special someone, it shows we're in the area of towards you. This is about you. As for the change, we see that here as well. A significant change. With your special someone, there really is still something here where they're struggling, where things are still stuck in the gears. It's truly his or her own insecurity. We also see fear of loss here. The fear is very, very, very strong. The fear of making the wrong decisions and this feeling of being pushed away or abandoned is a major issue for your special someone. And it was like this. If you were in a relationship or had some kind of relationship or contact with each other, and he maybe kept presenting himself to the outside world or was texting with this or that person, and you couldn't really rely on him or her, and there was always this immediate withdrawal, maybe you had made plans, and then like a little child, he would get offended, sulk, and bam, he was gone, right? And kept withdrawing again and again, never really giving you that stability. And knee-jerk reactions. I see quick activity here, quick reactions. This nervous, restless, bam, you know, things like that. Maybe, as I said, also texting with someone else, having contact, right? Moving around in that kind of area. That is the main issue with your loved one, that he has this need to be seen. He needs recognition to be seen, and that he always took the lead. But taking the lead doesn't mean that he is completely, at least according to this reading, in his self-confidence, because he's not like, wow, I'm the hero, right? No, not at all. I see your loved one here completely as an entertainer. On the outside, yes, right? That's where all of that is shown. But basically, I see him running away because he's insecure, restless, this not wanting to get hurt. Absolutely not. He'd rather whoosh, make a quick escape and be gone before he gets hurt here. The breakup could also have been one of the reasons for that. Running away no matter what, that's why you broke up. It really, really doesn't matter. I always see your loved one in this, always caught up in this movement, you know? Keeping everything on the surface on the outside, never letting anyone get too close, and always putting on a front. That's what he kept needing, to get that sense of validation. That's how he got his validation. I also saw a lot of actions and reactions from him because he ran away. Maybe because he didn't know how to argue or how to deal with the whole situation. He probably kept showing you like, wow, I can do anything and so on. I've got everything totally under control. No. But actually, he didn't at all, did he? Because I see him lying here, quite small, insecure. And in some cases, I also see things where your loved one is showing naivety here. And from a small problem, which is just a little pebble, your loved one made it into something huge and was totally like, ugh, it's so much, back and forth, and I'm so stressed out. And this just isn't working. So he made a mountain out of a molehill and keeps walking away, or has walked away. That's what I want to say here. He also avoided discussions. Ba, 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 that was said, and bang, he was gone. That's how it was. And here I have the trust, the breach of trust laid out very clearly. It's always like a breach of trust is running away. But I also see that because of his wooden armor, he wasn't thinking clearly or didn't have a clear mind. That was simply a knee-jerk reaction. That's what I see here. So there, it's like a whole array of fuses, like a fuse box, a huge thing. And then it went bang, bang, bang on a fuse after another blew out really quickly. So then the fuse was put back in, and bang, as soon as something happened, another short circuit. But what I find really wonderful here is that I see the change, the bigger change happening on the heart level. I see the bigger, actually not just bigger, but a major change happening. A complete transformation where everything turns around, a shift that's moving towards healing. So we're also in the realm where reconciliation is possible. He or she wants reconciliation. There is a complete change here, and the central focus is the domestic sphere, because that's where we have the home environment, his inner world. It could be an apartment, yes, but here we're talking about the person. In his or her inner world, I see a complete transformation. The change is that solutions are possible here, especially because a door is being opened that touches the heart love. And we can clearly see here the transformation, the new beginning, the shift toward healing, the positive change also moving in your direction. We are here in your energy. His determination, loyalty, and above all, following his or her heart, a new beginning, following the heart, not running away again or completely closing off the heart and withdrawing. No, here we see a complete opening of the heart. And this heart opening, we have movement and the problems. We're not just dealing with a little problem here, right? We have one thing or another here. So there are already a few things, that he is working on within himself. But I see him here completely in the process of change. I see the change here happening step by step. Sometimes it's a bit slower, then it picks up speed again. And especially where there's this huge boulder of a problem there or wherever he always saw things negatively with that pessimistic outlook, just this negativity. That's exactly where I see complete movement, determination, that this is being replaced, that it's being left behind, and that there's total determination toward change, toward the bigger transformation into love, loyalty, connection, the coming together, especially when it comes to relationship. He always ran away from that, the stability, this long-term commitment, because it was always here and there and everywhere. I always sensed this restlessness, and here he is breaking free from that. We have a process, we have a slow process, because after this collective reading, I have to add, unfortunately, we're seeing slow movements here, with your loved one remaining passive, but you know yourself with your energy, with your self-concept, you always have the speed in your own hands, right? Because everything is connected. And as I said, change, new beginnings, transformation, and all the negative things, all these fears that keep coming up for him, this fear of loss. That's why he kept breaking things off, kept leaving things on the surface. That too will be released. And the big things he always saw, wrong perspectives, wrong thinking, wrong actions, those are now becoming very small and dissolving. I can see the letting go of the old here completely. Your loved one is in the process, something is already happening. Maybe you don't see it on the outside, maybe you feel something, but this is, as I always say, the look behind the scenes. This is what's happening inside him or her. But he didn't want this heartbreak. Yes, he hurt you too. Yes. And there are also the thoughts, because now we have this pain, this fear of loss, the fear of maybe having lost you forever, but he wants to move toward healing with you. He himself is going through the healing process. We have a major change here, as I said, the healing. And we have Athis is turning around completely. It's moving toward healing. The tide is turning. And above all, this determination, this goal setting for change is being shown. And there's a lot going on in his mind. That doesn't mean he's working on it constantly, 24/7. No, but he is becoming aware of a lot. Because I also see here the sadness, the worries, this feeling of being alone. Because despite everything that's going on here, even though he's out and about a lot, showing a lot of activity here, there, and everywhere, he still feels alone. He misses the warmth, and that's what he always wanted to run away from. Because he thought that if he let himself go here and he was able to do that with you, he knows that, or she does. And this letting go is always like, oh God, now I'm completely vulnerable here. But he doesn't want that. As I said, he's dealing with it. And I see the complete transformation happening within him, which I find wonderful here. Absolutely fantastic. And then that's where the new beginning is shown. The new beginning, or the start of love, affection, loyalty, and trust. I see all of that here completely. Love and loyalty and stability. Now let's see what else we get here as an addition. Please take a look at this. How fantastic is that? Absolutely wonderful. On the one hand, we have the Six of Wands. And with the Six of Wands, which is a card I really, really like, it shows the union here and also the recognition towards you. And as for the relationship between the two of you, it is blossoming again, or beginning to blossom. And the difficult time will definitely be overcome. So I would say he's already made it through about half of it. And of course, there are always little setbacks, but they're only minor ones. But here, exclusion is also an issue. Of course, he or she is also afraid of being excluded by you, because exclusion not being seen is a really big issue. But it's also an issue from his or her past. But he's working on it, because I really see transformation, change, and you can truly expect good news here. Good news is coming, and he has set his sights on success. That is his or her goal. So I think it's absolutely wonderful to see this. At the end, what is being shown here. That fits together perfectly. So, and now we have the lovers. How beautiful. And as you can see, everything, whether it's about rivals or whether it's a woman, a man, or something friendly or family related, whatever has always come between you or tried to pull him away, he's turning his back on that, just as I already mentioned here. Because here we have love. And you can see for yourself, he's looking at you. The touch is directed toward you, his gaze, your eyes. And that's where the connection happens. And what's behind is left behind. There's no more attention given to it. Where he was always so focused on the outside, if we take the outside, to mean, as I said, other people being seen, he or she is now turning their back on all of that. And here we have his decision, the decision of the heart, wholeheartedly in your direction. Here we have love, loyalty, which we were also shown before, appearing once again. The relationship is at the beginning, a new beginning, and it also shows here, standing together, because you both have an irresistible attraction to each other, and that has been there for a while, the irresistible attraction. He has just repeatedly tried perhaps to resist it. A heartfelt decision is being made. The decision of the heart is in your direction, towards loyalty, and he is freeing himself from all these entanglements and everything that has always held him back, especially, which I find wonderful, from his or her own selfishness. Now he or she is breaking free from that. So I find that wonderful, absolutely fantastic, because here, according to this collective reading, it shows loyalty, change, that the two of you will meet again on a different level and truly live out this honest, deep, genuine loyalty and love. And this reliability that you can really count on him or her. There is the change. There will be some conversations, yes, but I see this growth, this stable, slow growth between the two of you, especially that you are living your love here. My dears, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching and wish you a wonderfully beautiful rest of the day. Goodbye.